Hey guys, it's my leak of curlBOX, and I am in Chicago today to talk to my new friend, Aisha Crump of Honey Baby Naturals. Welcome to curlBOX TV, Aisha.
Welcome to Chicago.
Thank
Excited
you.
To be here.
Thank you. So, I met you last year.
Yes.
And you were at Cosmoprof, and your booth, your section was hopping. Like you were barely waving. You had it going on. So I said, I got to figure out what is happening over here in these cute bottles, like so amazing. And I'm like, is this for kids? Can I use this? Can everyone use this? But you have this incredible story. You started off, you're from Gary, Indiana. Puerto
Rican from Gary.
Puerto Rican
My
from
dad
Gary.
would say a soul Rican.
So you are from Gary, Indiana.
Yes.
And you grow up and you go to, tell me about your high school and sort of like your path. It's really interesting.
Oh, thank you, my league. Well, yeah, I was born and raised in Gary. And I am Puerto Rican, and there's a lot of Puerto Ricans that live in Gary.
Okay.
My grandparents came here from the island to work in the steel industry.
Okay.
So when I was a child, it was actually a very diverse community because so many people from other countries were coming because the steel industry was booming.
Okay.
So grandparents came here, didn't speak English at all.
Whoa.
And they started working. And my parents were actually born in Gary and went to high school. They met, they got married when they were 18 and 20.
Wow.
And then they've been together since, and they had us. So we were born in Gary. And my parents didn't graduate high school. They had GEDs because they got married so young.
Okay.
And I found my way to a special school called Emerson School for the Visual Performing Arts.
Okay.
And it was a blessing. It was like the Black Fame.
Was it?
Yes. It was amazing. It was 55 in my graduating class.
55, okay.
And it was so intimate, and we were all together that we pulled each other up and we made each other stronger. So we all had our own majors.
Wow.
Could you guess what mine was?
Oh, you tell me. You tell me what it is.
So I was a theater major.
Oh, shocking. Yeah, if you hang out with Aisha long enough, you will get this like big, huge, amazing laugh. Lots of theater, lots of joy. Like I wonder, like being around you is so infectious. Like I wonder what a bad day is for you. Are you still sort of like up on the
I am. I'm a Gemini too. On top of that, so I have the twins. So there's good and bad. But no, I'm always optimistic. I'm happy. I always look at the positive side of things.
Yeah.
So I just feel like that's how you live life. You just look at what's great about everything that's in front of you and not focus on the negative at all.
Awesome. So you go to this school and you get a scholarship.
Yes.
To Purdue, but they don't. It's not for theater. It's for
chemical engineering.
Chemical engineering. Yes. So you go to college for chemical engineering. Were you bummed out about it? Were you excited about it? Like, what made you decide to do this?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I always tell people, and anyone that knew me as a child, I wanted to become an actress. I was going to go to NYU and study acting, but I knew that once I graduated that it would be hard for me to find a job.
Okay.
And we had a recruiter that came to the university through the minority engineering programs. They were very, very active at the time, recruiting women and minorities to study engineering. And they came to the high school, and I was valedictorian in my high school class. I had a 4.0 when I graduated high school, and they filled out the application. And I said, well, what does an engineer do? And it's funny because a lot of kids, you ask them what an engineer does, and they think about the man working on the train.
Yep, that's what my dad just retired doing.
As a real engineer.
As a locomotive
engineer. A locomotive engineer. Yes. So that's what kids think about.
Yeah.
And so here I am, and I'm young, and I'm in high school, and I have no idea what an engineer does. And they showed salaries of engineers coming out of college. And I think at the time, a chemical engineer made $55,000 out of college.
Wow.
Imagine me, poor girl from Gary, parents, never made that type of money, and I said, sign me up.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
Okay.
I go to Purdue, and I had 18 credit hours, calculus, chemistry, physics, computer programming, 7 a.m. every single day, and I killed myself the first semester. First time I had a C in my entire life.
Wow.
And at that point, you start evaluating, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? But I love a challenge.
Okay.
And for me, I was never going to quit. I was never going to give up because I wanted to prove that I can do this.
Yes.
People say, I just watched Hidden Figures and was so inspired. I'm crying with my daughter in the theater. And that's how I felt. There's not a lot of women, especially women of color, that go into that field. So for me, it was kind of proving that I can do this, that we too can be engineers and be successful at it. So to say the least, I did well. I graduated in 4 years and started realizing how important engineers are. Engineers are problem solvers.
Okay.
They're the people who make things better. They make improvements. They learn how to work through situations to make something optimal.
Wow.
So even though I I was challenged and a little frustrated, I felt like it really developed me into this thinker that I am today.
Wow.
To really figure out how to take one thing and to make it into something better and to improve.
Yes, and even just sitting here having conversation this morning, we've talked all kinds of ideas. She's nonstop, and I didn't realize that engineers make things better, and that's just, we don't really know that. It seems kind of like boring and not sexy. So awesome. And then fast forward to graduation, you go into the pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah, so when I was getting ready to graduate, I started interviewing. And I interviewed with oil field services, environmental services, and then I started to freak out.
This is real.
This is real. Okay, now I have this great degree and have all these companies from consumer products, food companies that were trying to hire me, and I really didn't want to go into that route. You know, I've always had this passion for theater, for the camera, for beauty, for, other things that were non-technical. I never saw myself with a lab coat in a lab.
Right.
And so I was blessed. I actually went to work for Eli Lilly.
Oh, wow.
They interviewed me as an engineer, but the recruiter that met me said, you need to be in sales.
I could see that.
So I started my career in sales. I married my college sweetheart.
Okay.
And he was from Chicago, so we ended up here. And I got married, and I right away had my son.
Okay.
So I had a flexible career where I was able to have my children, raise them. But my leak, I was bored out of my mind. And I love being a mother. I love being a wife. But I never had the career satisfaction that I didn't love what I did.
Yeah.
I did it because, I was good at it. I was one of the top reps in the country.
Sure.
And I made good money, but I just wasn't happy.
Yeah. A lot of people feel like that, you're able to take care of yourself. You love your family, you love your husband, but there's something missing, an ache. So this ache happens and you just decide to quit.
I did. And everybody, it's funny, my husband is amazing. He's so supportive, but I had a great job, and especially to my parents, you're rich. You're making a lot of money. You have a great home. You have this great family. And I did. I just quit. And I started playing around with cosmetics and beauty. I was working as a freelance makeup artist.
Oh, wow.
I told you that. I just wanted to learn all things beauty.
Yeah.
I started, working in that industry, and then I ran out of money. I had nothing. I was doing real estate at the time.
Money goes out really fast. I did the same thing. It's like I quit my job and I had $7,000 saved, which in my naivete seemed like it was gone fast. I coughed and it was gone. The move, the car insurance, all these things. And when you move to a new city, it's like the deposits. I looked up and it was gone.
2 months, 3 months.
2-3 months gone. I'm like, oh gosh, dog walk, babysit. What can I do? So your money, you're gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
And we were, at that time, real estate was booming, so we had a few properties that were bringing in money, and I actually got pregnant. Again.
Okay.
And my children are the biggest blessings in my life, and I think that's what kind of forced me into this life. So at that time, I was pregnant with my second child, and my daughter, Kyra, and I need to find a job because I was like, I need money. And so I went to the computer and I typed in engineering, beauty, and sales.
The things you love.
The things
That's simple. Sometimes I think people are looking like it has to be so hard to find something fulfilling, but you just went to the computer, engineering, beauty, sales.
Absolutely.
And what did you find?
And I found a position for a chemical sales rep. Selling to the beauty industry.
Wow.
And this is a career that people don't even know much about.
Yeah.
That these are the people that are experts in the chemical field that approach the chemists and the marketing formulators and basically tell them which ingredients to use.
Okay.
So I can look at a label and tell you everything that's in there. That's what I just did.
Right. Okay. So, okay, before we even get into this, because I know that these are like the most coveted questions, people today are obsessed with ingredients. We were looking at something and she just read the back of that label and she knows what everything means. And so a lot of products are saying like sulfate free, like the no ingredients. Like, what are your thoughts on that? And how important like are preservatives? Like, so for the all natural person, preservatives, like how important is it? Or I've heard that like people will remove the name of things because they know you are able to read the back of it, but it's something else. And I know this is probably tricky, but
no, it's not tricky. It's real.
Okay.
So I'm a label reader.
Okay.
And I read labels. I'm not obsessed with buying organic food for my children because I couldn't afford to.
Okay.
But when it comes to products, it is so real. So preservatives. Let me ask you a question. Do you want mold in your cheese?
No.
Okay.
I don't want mold on anything.
Exactly. So we need preservatives.
Okay.
We absolutely need preservatives.
Okay.
But there's greener alternatives.
Okay.
Same thing as sulfates.
Okay.
We need to wash our hair and our body. We need cleansing agents. But let's use an alternative that is more green, that's sulfate free, but it still cleanses. So ingredients are important. I was just explaining to someone that ingredients are listed in the order of percentages.
Gotcha.
So when you read a label and some product claims maybe olive oil is the product and it's like the 15th ingredient on the list, you know that it's not in there heavy.
How much could be?
0.1, 0.001.
Like a
drop, yes.
Okay.
So
and even though a brand can lead
with it, claim it,
and it's a drop of olive oil.
0.001.
Wow.
So, labels. So I started, at that point, I was trained to formulate products.
Okay.
I learned how to make a shampoo. It was so exciting to make a conditioner and understanding, okay, you need an emulsifier. You need, shampoos are 80, 90% water.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that. So I started learning the ingredient base and, like you said, labels, read your labels.
Read your labels.
And when I was formulating my brand, ingredients were the most important thing. I wanted them to perform and to work, but I wanted them to be more natural and more safe because it was a family brand.
Okay.
So, there are no-nos, the parabens and the sulfates, the petrol-derived chemicals, which are your mineral oil, your petrolatum. These things I didn't want to have in my products, but there are alternatives. There's natural oils that do the same, they have the same feel and do the same thing.
Okay.
So, labels are important, ingredients are important.
Okay.
So read your labels, ladies.
and
and see where things appear on the label, see what's in there.
Okay.
I think we have such smart consumers now, and I go to Target and I watch the women in the aisles, kind of creepy. And I see them reading labels, and it's just so exciting to me that people really care what's in their products, and they're looking for these type ingredients. So why not develop a line of ingredients that caters to these women that are looking for them?
Right, which brings us to Honey Baby Naturals. You start, after you have a job, you're working as a chemical sales
rep.
Yes. How long were you doing that before you got another ache of like, I want to do something on my own?
So I am insatiable. Ask my husband. He's like, I always am reaching for more. I need the next level. So when I was working selling chemicals, I established amazing relationships. I had the pleasure of working with every major hair care company.
Okay.
Calling on the chemists, on the marketing personnel, the formulators. And I got pregnant again. Baby number 3.
Yeah, right.
Yes. And at that point, I couldn't make a move because I was working, I had the children, but I worked from home.
Okay.
So it was a blessing that I was able to be a mom first.
Okay.
And, have my career and really focus on my family. So I had my daughter, Corinne, which was my third child, third and final, I promise.
We have no more babies coming.
No more babies. Okay. I'm done.
Except Honey Baby.
Except Honey Baby. That was my next baby.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And I was really writing copy.
Okay.
I was telling people, what to put in the products. And when I see them come out on shelf, I kind of felt like it was my baby.
Okay.
And I said, I can do this. I really want to develop my own products. But I felt at that time I still wasn't ready. You can't just jump into it.
Okay.
And one of my customers was a contract manufacturer.
Okay.
And people don't understand that majority of products on the industry are made by contract fillers.
Okay.
It's very standard. The major Fortune 500 companies, they use contract fillers. So he brought me in to run sales and marketing. I was a director of sales and marketing. And I learned how to manufacture, how to price products, how to formulate them, how to preserve the products, how to do stability. So for 5 years, I worked in the manufacturing side.
Okay.
And again, I had the pleasure of working with all these major brands and really understanding the sales cycle, the marketing cycle, the business. And then finally, I was ready.
You
my
were.
league.
Were you worried at all? Because I feel like a lot of people will be in positions where, were you worried that all the people that you had worked with would be upset with you or hate you? Like, did you worry about that at all? Because everybody loves you. Everybody loves you.
Oh, God.
But did you worry at all about that? Because I think that will hinder, that voice in the back of some people's heads have stopped them from doing something like this.
You know what's incredible, and I would say that one of the biggest reasons I am where I am right now is because of those people.
Yeah.
And, I was worried in the beginning, but everyone that met me and has known me for years knows that my one goal was to finally launch my own brand.
Gotcha.
From day one, from when I worked selling chemicals to when I started doing manufacturing. And I always knew in the back of my mind that I wanted to build a beauty brand to enhance our lives,
Okay.
enhance women's lives and families' lives.
Okay.
So they all knew that. And so it was kind of like, Aisha, when are you going to do it? So when I finally announced that I did it,
Yeah.
I mean, support across the industry, like people couldn't wait to see it. I mean, when
Yeah.
I was at Cosmoprof,
Yeah.
a lot of the people that were there were other brands that wanted to see what Aisha Crump finally launched.
Yes. Yeah. What did she finally do?
What did she finally do? Because I've been working myself up to this for over 12 years.
Yes.
Making sure that before I did it, that I was prepared to understand everything from the ingredients to the formulation to the manufacturing to the sales to the regulatory, and that when I did it, that I did it right.
So we have a 12-year overnight success story.
Yeah, right? It's never
happening.
overnight.
It's never. So we talked about this is a family brand. So it's not just for kids. It's not just for moms. It's for everyone. Everyone in the family can hop in the shower and use these products. It's not like baby's products, mom's products, dad's products. So tell me about this brand and what was the first product that you started with?
So it's interesting, and the inspiration behind the brand is my family.
Okay.
And just being someone who's been in the industry for so long, I don't pay for products. I would just get products from people.
Right.
And I tried everything.
Right.
And if I talked about organization is not my number one skill, but if you open up my daughter's sink in their bathroom, I probably have about 50 products down there.
Yeah.
And I was using so many products from so many companies, and I still didn't have a product that worked for them and for myself.
Okay.
And so the inspiration behind the brand was to create a line of products that was truly a family brand that everyone in the family could use.
Okay.
Their hair texture, my husband's black, he's African American, and I'm Puerto Rican.
Right.
But every single one of my children has a completely different hair texture.
It happens every time.
I mean, and that's even in black families.
Yeah,
not necessarily mixed families or biracial families.
It's just
everyone has a different texture, different concerns, different things that they're looking for.
Right.
And so I found myself as a mom buying 15,000 products or getting 15,000 products, and I still didn't have a line of products that was our go-to brand.
Gotcha.
So Honey Baby Naturals was going to be the go-to brand.
Okay.
And when I started creating it, I used honey. At that time, honey wasn't the buzz ingredient.
Okay.
I kept it on the wraps for a while when I started playing with it because my grandmother, my father's mom, she had this beautiful black hair and her skin was flawless. I don't think she even think she used makeup.
Wow.
And she would make these honey masks for her skin and for hair.
Ooh.
And it was just beautiful. And I remember that as a kid, she called it miel, my grandmother. And so I started researching honey.
Okay.
And when you research honey, you see that honey cures psoriasis. Skin, it's a natural sugar that actually is healing. They actually have Band-Aids now with honey in it.
Really?
Yes, it's amazing. I have people come up to me and tell me these stories all the time.
Okay.
So anyway, fast forward. So I knew I wanted to use honey, and the first product that I started making and mixing was like a honey butter.
Okay.
My daughter has extreme eczema, and very dry skin patches, and she would put it on, and her skin was amazing.
Okay.
So that was pretty much the first product, and I transitioned into hair. So I started playing around with hair because, like I said, my life is chaotic. I have 3 kids. The 2 girls are swimmers.
Wow.
We swim 5 days a week. They're competitive swimmers.
Wow.
And, we're doing hair.
Swimming in hair for us is...
You don't have to tell me. I mean, it's a reason a lot of girls, in urban communities don't swim.
Right.
Is because of the challenge, 1, access, you know, but 2, it's because of the hair.
Yeah.
It's truly, it's really, really tough and rough on the hair. And, you have to wash the hair every day. Twice a day.
Yeah, you have to.
Before and after.
Yeah.
So I started mixing these products, and at that point I quit my job.
Okay.
I knew that I'm ready. I knew at the point I was ready, and I quit my job.
Wow.
And Malik, when I tell you that first year of struggle was real.
Yeah.
I wanted to focus 100% on this, and so I wasn't working. I worked on the formulations. It took me a year
to get it right.
Yeah. And to get all the products and to get them right, it took me 1 year. And I wanted to launch a line of products that truly address the foundation of good, healthy hair and skin regimens.
Okay.
So we have 4 hair products and 3 body.
Okay.
And the platform is Hydrate, Heal, Protect.
Hydrate, heal, protect.
And I think that, a lot of people jump into stylers and they want to just focus on the styling or how your hair looks, but let's focus on the health of your hair, the health of your skin, and then we can, graduate into another level. So, yes, I created a line of products, and I wanted to bring innovation to the category.
Yes.
By using food grade packaging.
Yes.
And everyone thought I was absolutely my packaging guy. I called him and I said, give me some honey bottles and jars. He's like, what are you working on? I said, don't worry about it. Just give me honey bottles and jars. And everybody thought I was nuts because there's like this standard.
Yeah.
Use these standard bottles, be traditional. And I'm not traditional. And I wanted honey bottles and jars because I wanted to evoke the feeling of cooking. I love to cook.
Okay.
And I wanted people to feel like it was something that, was warm, that was really about, healing, and it was natural.
Yeah.
So I did Honey Baby Naturals was born.
Okay.
And then the name, Honey Baby is a term of endearment. People keep saying, oh, is it for babies? Honey Baby is my daughter. Honey Baby is my husband, and it's my son. So I felt like it was truly a name that encompasses everyone in your family, truly making it a family brand.
That's awesome.
So Honey Baby Naturals was born.
Got it. And so Honey Baby Naturals is where, if I'm going out, where can I find it now?
So excited, but we launched our products in October of last year.
Wow.
And 1 year later, we are officially in Target stores. Woo! Oprah moment.
Wow.
Yes, it's been incredible.
Yes, that's amazing. So based on, because I know you're on Instagram, what are people like raving about? What is the thing that they're just like, this is my crack? What is the one thing?
So the reason the brand has been so successful, and I'm just like blessed for this, is because the products are amazing. And I'm not just saying that because I created them.
Right. but they are. But everybody, even in a line, they're just like, no, this.
Right. So all the products are amazing, and that's why we've been successful. But I would say the #1 hair product would be the Not My Honey Instant Detangler.
Okay.
And I think we talked earlier, and you said, Aisha, what is your morning like? My morning is hectic.
Yeah.
I have to do hair every single morning. So I wanted to create a product that made doing hair, removing tangles and knots just easier.
Yeah.
So the Not My Honey Instant Detangler is the bomb, B-O-M-B.
Okay.
It's a lightweight glycerin and honey and aloe infused leave-in gel cream.
Gel cream.
And it kind of coats the hair to give you the perfect amount of slip without weighing the hair down.
That sounds like
that's
what we want.
And
this works, and your daughter's hair lengths vary, so you've got down to the tailbone.
Yes.
So you don't have time in the morning to be getting everyone to school to deal with this.
And the beautiful thing is that they love the products. I think kids see the bottles, they think it's cute, they think it's for them. So there's like, where's my Honey Baby? Like everyone has their own set in their own bathroom, their own shower.
Right.
And they can do their own hair because it works so well. So my oldest daughter, she takes the detangler, she puts in her hair, she's able to comb it through, and then she takes a smoothie because she has a little bit thicker hair to help slick back that ponytail and define her curls.
Okay.
And this morning I had no time because it's running late, my life story,
Yes.
and she does her own hair.
Wow.
And they love doing it because they feel like it's my honey baby experience.
Yes.
So it's been amazing. And then I have the honey shea butter hair smoothie. The boys love it.
Yeah.
My son plays basketball. He's 14. And you know these boys with these like
Yes.
these cool hairstyles, curly. All the kids on the team like, oh, I love the honey baby smoothie.
Awesome.
Yeah, and so they use that product.
Okay.
And as far as my hero body product, the body is like, it's interesting because we get a lot of people that blog on Instagram about the hair products. They love it. Skin is a little bit more challenging, but it was essential for me to launch skin because it's important. But the honey nectar body jelly is the real. It is. That's the longest it took me to formulate. Out of all the products, that one took me the longest. I found a way to take shea butter and coconut and emulsify it with like a natural wax. It's a skin healing and protectant.
Yeah.
So it's for extremely dry skin, like elbows, feet, dry patches. You put it on and it's gonna heal the skin, but it also forms like a thin layer to protect the skin. So it's amazing. Once you try it, you fall in love with it.
Oh my goodness. So for those who may be, every time I sit down with someone, the people who love to watch these videos, they may be on the verge or they have a product or an idea that they're thinking about. If you could give like that one bit of advice, like just a simple line, what could someone do to potentially start a line, or if they even just one product, like is it research? Is it like what can people do to be better?
I think the first thing is that you need passion.
Okay.
You have to love what you do.
And that applies to anything.
To anything. But,
yeah.
You know, it's funny because I have people, because I've been behind the scenes for long, I have people that come up to me all the time, hey, I want to start a brand. Well, why do you want to start a brand?
Right.
Oh, because I know I can sell a lot of product, or because I see other people doing it. You have to have the passion in your heart.
Yeah.
You know, just like when you started your company,
yes.
you know, through all the sacrifice and all the trials and all the difficult times, you have to really believe in it and really want to do it.
Because on those hard days, if you just want a brand,
yes.
that won't sustain you.
It won't.
No.
And then you have to, you know, I think that there's so many products already out there. We talked about this in here. You know, why go to this product or that? You have to bring innovation to the table.
Yes.
You know, that goes back to my engineering background. How do you take something that's been around forever and bring innovation to make it better or to make it more appealing to the consumer? And I think that through packaging, through ingredients, through formulation improvements and delivery systems, I found a way to create a line that everyone's buzzing about because it's so different.
Honey,
you know, it is. And I think that, you know, so if you want to create a brand, or if you know, you have the passion, you have the idea, then you have to put yourself around the right people. And that's kind of what we talked about. Don't be afraid to talk to someone else who's been there, who has more experience. And I can list so many people in the industry that I've picked up the phone and said, hey, I'm curious to know how this works or how that works, and align yourself with those people because they will truly help you to develop and to become, you know, successful in the industry.
Yes, but I do want to add that people picked up the phone and took your calls because you had value also. So though you may have been asking a question, you have a plethora of answers that they probably would need from you.
And we exchange them.
So I just want to make sure that we talk about an exchange, because some people will call and like, help me. You have no idea who they are, but just making sure that you also have something to bring to the table when you're picking up that phone.
Yes. And, you know, and it's interesting. And you talked about would people in the industry be mad when I first started.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was very transparent. And I told people, hey, I'm kind of stepping away from brand development for other brands because I'm going to do my own. And, but call me anytime.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, I had a phone call last night, yesterday, you know, I feel like my strength is product development and formulation, regulatory, like that technical part that I think a lot of people are challenged with.
Yes.
So anyone can pick up the phone anytime and call me if they have a question. And so, you know, and it's funny, and then someone sent me a list of all the trade shows I need to be in. So I think that there's an exchange of information that, you know, don't be afraid to share things with other people.
Yes.
And I think that's I've seen that so much in the industry. They think there's a sense of competition, and I don't look at it as a competition. I look at it as we're all in this together to build this category and to really advance the industry, especially for women of color or in a multicultural space.
Yes.
So I think that, you know, give and you know, and take in the same, in both directions.
Yeah.
And you know, just like I'm so happy to establish a relationship with you because
Yes.
I know how much you know that I don't.
Yes.
And hopefully, you know, I can add something to, you know, you.
Absolutely. You already have. Just in the time we spoke this morning. Yes.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Well, I just thank you so much. I'm super excited about the Honey Baby Naturals.
curlBOX natural.
Yes, yes. So Instagram, Snapchat, everything. Tweet us. I can't wait to hear what you think.